Hi, everyone. Carrie here, and I am super excited to introduce you all to a friend of mine and a client, Crystal. Say hey, Crystal.
Hey, and you're twinsy
No,
today.
we didn't plan this, but
We totally didn't plan this.
I love it.
But maybe we should in the future.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So Crystal is a mom. She works full time. Her and her husband owned a CrossFit gym for many years, up until recently, actually. And I was actually a client in their gym. That's how we got to know each other. And a few months ago, Crystal reached out to me because she had seen all the kind of stuff that I was posting about health and wellness and about eating healthy and correct and all of that. And her and her growth mindset. I mean, she's a fitness expert in so many ways, right? But she was like, what is Carrie doing, right? So I'm excited to bring her on board because I think she brings a really interesting perspective about always learning and always growing and finding the kind of having that growth mindset and being able to continue to push yourself into new places. But also you're just a busy mom that is making this work as well, and kind of is approaching this with a new outlook, I think, a little bit in terms of how you kind of balance your food. So tell me first, like, why did you really end up deciding to do this 4 weeks to wellness launch, if you will?
Well, it's funny because, you talk about how my husband and I owned the gym, and we owned it for 5 years. We started it and then we sold it. And when we talk about the gym and when we were the owners of the gym, everybody sort of assumed because we owned the gym together that I was also this health and wellness expert. I never considered myself to be that. If anything, I was sort of the reluctant, gym goer who had to have this structure in place in my life in order to consistently do some form of exercise. And I would be on the horse consistent for a while and then not again, and then on and then not again. And so the struggle was real for me, even though I owned a gym and, I was managing the business side of it.
That's awesome for people to know, right? Because real life, that's the whole point. I want this to be simple, but also it's about sustainability over the long term, right? And just knowing that we can go up and down a little bit, but setting ourselves up to be able to be successful.
Well, and that's, I think, the biggest thing for me is that, I know what I need in order to do something consistently. Mm-hmm. And what I need is a big enough reason, first of all. Mm-hmm. I need to be completely authentic about what that reason is, or else forget it. I can't BS my own brain. My own BS meter is always on the mark. So I know when I'm full of it. So I needed a big enough reason. I also need some accountability, and I need somebody to just friggin' flat out tell me exactly what to do. I'm not somebody who could, go into a kitchen, see what's in my pantry, and then create a meal out of nothing. It's just not my thing. I am not that creative. Yeah, I need somebody to say, make this, eat it. Okay, then in 3 hours, make this, eat it. Okay, and other than that, it's not gonna happen. So
be real, I didn't tell you what to eat, but I did give you really clear parameters, right?
Oh yeah, well, so yeah, I mean, we can get into the specifics of how I made it sort of work for me. I'm happy to do that, but I just know what I need is a very clear sort of outline of what I'm supposed to do. And then once I create habits, then it's no big deal for me. Then it's just sort of what I do.
Yeah. I talk about habits a lot because that's one of the reasons why the 4 weeks to me is so important as a jumpstart, as a launching pad, because when you can do things consistently over about a 4 week period of time, it can start to become a habit. And that's one of the ways that you're integrating this as a lifestyle.
Well, that's the thing. I just needed to, you say disrupt, and for me, it was more an interruption of my everyday life. I needed to completely interrupt myself and my habits and my routine. And I knew it would be an interruption. I knew it would take something. I've done, things different than this, but interruptions like this in my life before, when I was okay, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's, we're living in North Carolina now, and our pool season starts in May. I want my abs back. I worked my ass off for those abs. Where are they? I know that's made in the kitchen. Let me get my crap together here. The other thing too is, with a almost 4-year-old son who's like an extremely picky eater, I wanted to start a new dialogue. Because I'm also, because I'm not somebody who will just come up with recipes and come up with different like creative ways to make food and stuff. It's just not part of my wheelhouse. I needed sort of a structure to launch that for myself, to start talking about food differently. My husband is the fitness guy. He is the most consistent human on the planet, which is why I'm like, I need to get myself in gear before that, swimsuit season, because he always looks like it's swimsuit season, like he just always does. So it's great motivation for me to want to feel like I'm, there too. But we don't coach each other in those things. We have an agreement not to coach each other in those things. It just never works out well. Yeah. So I needed outside coaching. I know I needed that, but I also wanted to be part of the dialogue that he's always again. So that was part of it too for me, which has launched a whole thing for him. It's funny that he's, now he's looking at how much he's eating with this, and anyway, it's kind of.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Together.
That's
yeah,
good.
And with my son, what we've started talking about since the challenge is what foods make him grow.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's 3, and it's like, I love talking, instead of like, oh, I really like this food. It's like, well, I like it for you too, because it makes you grow and it makes you healthy. And then, so now he's asking me questions like, well, does cheese and crackers make me grow and make me healthy? And I would much rather him eat those than, a bag of Sun Chips. And it's like, yes, so
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it just sparks a different type of dialogue, which I know as the mom in the family, and it's unfair and frustrating, and I'm a huge feminist, so please don't take this the wrong way, but I know I'm the one to sort of lead the path in a lot of conversations in our family, and he's definitely one of them. And for me to just sort of fall short or get lazy about it or feel like I don't have the tools for that is just another BS meter in my brain that I knew, I needed to interrupt. Yeah. So those are my big reasons, the short and long of it, for saying yes and reaching out to you. Plus, I trust you. I know who you are, and we've gotten to know each other from the gym. I know just how thorough you are about anything that you do and how committed you are about anything you do. And Tim and I have always really respected you and your family for a lot of the choices that you've made and how you live your lives. So it was just another opportunity for me to kind of get into the Carrie world and see like what you're up to in this way, and get coaching from somebody that I do trust in any way of life, and why not here? So
that's awesome. I really appreciate that, because like when I joined the gym with you, it was you guys that I was really like taking my direction from with the physical side of, my workouts and things like that. So I love that our families can support each other. So tell me about the integration. So you did the challenge, the 4 weeks. You like, I know you say like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it perfectly, but it's not about perfection. It really is about learning and trying to like get your body as cleansed as you can during those 4 weeks. But let's talk about then that transition from once, I was kind of texting you on a regular basis, and then I started letting you kind of go, and now I just check in every once in a while. But how was that integration into a more sustainable lifestyle for you?
So I sort of, like we said, creating the routine for myself was really helpful. So, in the morning, instead of, my son wanting pancakes for breakfast, dictating what I'm eating for breakfast, I just am making my shake. I just don't even think about it. I make my shake. I know it's good for me. I have my MCT oil in there. That's my fats. Like I don't miss some things. So they just haven't entered back into my diet.
Like what?
We feed a lot of rice with dinner and stuff. My husband, is like really into, certain foods like bready items. And I just don't, I've found alternatives in the 4 weeks and really like them. So they're just now my staples.
That's crazy. That's
carbs. The carbs are like a big thing for me to find like alternative, items for, oh my God, there's this cauliflower. Oh my God, it's so good. Pizza crust. That's freaking phenomenal.
Where do you get it?
Oh my God. I'll, it's probably in my freezer because I love it so much. I always have it on hand. But we used to do non-pizza, like non-bread pizza once a week. With vodka sauce and fresh mozzarella and all this stuff. And I would feel so full and so gross after eating this thing, but I would eat it. So, it's like one of those you kind of get lost in it. So, Tim will still eat it once a week, but I'm doing my cauliflower. It's just now what we do. Like he gets the crust out and his naan and blah, 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 and we make it and whatever. And I actually really love it and I don't miss the naan and I still feel good afterwards. So,
that's what I think one of the reasons the 4 weeks is so important, because I could just teach people how to eat healthy and correct. But by going through that 4 weeks, it forces you to try new things.
Yeah.
You can realize there's a whole world of really healthy and correct food out there that I never would have given a shot before if I hadn't been held accountable in this way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And there's still it's not like I'm always eating super clean. I've integrated some other things in my life. I love that I can integrate wine, for God's sake.
Right? I think I would lose everybody if I would be like, you can have
I think you can see behind there's my little wine rack there. It's always got some stuff on it. But and then the Aloha bars really saved me during the 4 weeks because they're so chocolatey and decadent and yummy. And those were sort of like my treat. And really easy if I had like a crazy day and couldn't get it together to have a meal every 3 hours. I could just grab one of those. So those are permanently in my cupboard because I just really love them. And I feel like, it's just easy. And the shakes really helped too because it made it easy. I'm all about efficiency and easy. If it's not easy, I'm not going to do it. I can't meal prep for hours and hours and hours. And that first week, I think I sent you a text. It was like, I just spent 3.5 hours prepping my first week. What the F? This is crazy. I'm not going to be able to do this.
And you're like, oh gosh, this is going to get easier. I just hope she can bear with me for a little longer. And so now what is your meal prep time like?
Oh, I don't really prep at all. I just when I grocery shop, I just buy the staple items and then I throw meals together. One of my staple meals is I have these almond wraps, almond flour wraps that are really yummy. And I do scrambled eggs and some fresh pico de gallo and some avocado and the eggs and the wrap and stuff. And so that's one of my meals. And it's I just don't think and it takes 5 minutes to make something like that, but it makes me feel good, knowing that I'm actually putting myself as my health and my well-being as a priority, first of all. It's not something I do all the time. So it forces me to do that. But also every 3 hours, I'm freaking hungry. So I know.
I'm about needing to eat and I'm going to be like, all right, we got to go because I got to go.
I know. So anyway, I think all of that actually really sort of added to the fact that, this is something that I think I could consistently do. It wasn't I'm depriving myself forever and ever. It's when I do start eating well again, I just know what to do and it's easy enough to do. And I'm not starving myself or, trying not to eat carbs. I really, really can't not eat carbs. I get dizzy and it's there's certain diets that just don't work for me. And I'm not an expert on diets in any way or nutrition in any way. That's why we always brought in experts at the gym when we owned it because it's so complicated and there's so much science behind it, which is why I appreciate you doing this. But I just know what works for me and I need it to be easy. I need it to be sustainable and I need to be able to go to a restaurant and be able to order something and have it be okay and not feel like I'm completely, off the mark. And if I have, a dessert once in a while, it's tomorrow I'm going to get back on with what I was doing because I have all the.
And it's not even tomorrow, it's just the next meal. You know what I mean?
No, totally.
Have dessert for breakfast and then say the next meal I'm going to be back on it again. And that's what I
love. And that's kind of what it's been like. And, once in a while I'm I get a little more creative with some of the food items because I get sick of the same stuff. But honestly, the stuff I'm making are all really delicious things that I love anyway. So I don't really, it's got to be easy or it's not happening. So.
I'm the same exact way. I want to go out for a nice dinner and think about that. But when I'm just like working my tail off all day long, I just need to eat so I can be fueled. And I want to enjoy it,
Yeah.
but I don't want to think about it. So.
Yeah. Well, and I don't even think it's funny because like I'll get a meal at a restaurant and I don't even think about like, it's just part of how I'm ordering.
Yeah, and Crystal, I think what's so crazy is that you finished the challenge not that long ago, and you're already like, it's automatic.
Well, and then when it isn't like right on, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. That's like so silly, but
it's like, so funny because I can't eat just an apple anymore.
Oh no.
I'm like, no, I need more.
We went out and had on Mother's Day, we had ice cream at this place and I was like, I don't care, I'm eating whatever I want, let's just go. And I got this, oh my God, it was massive. It was kind of like ridiculous, but it had almost like a churro cone. Oh my God, it was crazy amazing, but so huge and so crazy. And I thought, well, that's my carb. And then there's my...
That's a carb and your fat, girl. But it's so funny that you think about that. Like, yeah. And like once a week, I do my appreciation meal, my off-plan meal, and I try not to think about it all. But like, I don't, like, I like the food that I've been eating, that sometimes I'm just like, I want to just eat that. I just want to eat it or whatever, or have wine with it or dessert and that. But anyway, everybody kind of makes it their own. But the big part of it is that the 4 weeks to wellness challenge is really a lifestyle launch. It's a launching pad to a lifestyle. And that's what I want, hopefully, people to understand. Okay. So if you were to tell somebody who is on the fence and say, okay, I don't know, why should I do it? Should I not do it? What would be your like Twitter feed to say why you should get off the fence and do it?
Well, I'm somebody who's interested in growing and developing in life. And if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, you're nuts. Mm-hmm. So, I think life is an exploration. And if you have somebody in front of you with something different and you're willing to put your ass on the line for something for 4 weeks, that it's kind of a no-brainer. It doesn't cost that much money. It will interrupt your life and you've got to get serious about it, but it's no big deal. I mean, it's like everybody has all these things. It's like the end of the world. Oh my God, it's actually not that significant in life. It's a matter of just taking a step in a direction. Just try something and have fun with it, and be silly about it, and buy the Aloha bars and go to the grocery store.
Cauliflower pizza crust.
Yeah, try. Oh my God, I will post a picture of that pizza crust. Just try some different stuff, have some fun with it, whatever. It's not a big deal. Life is an exploration and a journey. And if it could make some, big changes for you, then why wouldn't you do it? My husband has been talking about the Dalai Lama, had a quote, and it was that people sacrifice their health in order to make money. And then they sacrifice money to recuperate their health.
Isn't that crazy?
But he has said that like 3 times in the past 3 weeks. And I don't think that that kind of conversation between us could be happening unless I had said, all right, I'm going to do something different and I'm going to take this seriously. And, we're supposedly like health and wellness professionals. Like, this happens, life happens. Right. And it's easy to just grab a muffin sometimes. But, But I am interested in having a healthy life, and I am interested as a family to have that kind of a dialogue together and to be living that way. So
I love that you brought in the family, right?
Yeah.
I would bring my girls to the gym. That is so important to me. I'm so excited. My daughter's actually upset because she's going to miss the Murph this year.
Oh my God, we were just talking about Murph.
I don't know if we're going to have to do it on our own or what.
Your CrossFit's not doing it?
It was no Memorial Day in Mexico.
Well, so what?
I don't know. Maybe they are. It's a good question. I'll find out. I
Oscar,
assume that they weren't.
work is a great workout. It's a benchmark workout. It doesn't have to be anything with
Yeah,
more.
I know. And we can go do it ourselves too.
Well, that's
But like you were saying, I need the push. I don't think I'll go and do that on my own.
well, who the hell does Murph without having somebody?
Oh, I need someone like Tim yelling at me. Well, Crystal, thank you so much. I know you have work to get back to, but I think this was really helpful. It was so nice to see you and to chat with you. And make sure you send me that cauliflower pizza.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I'll do it right now before I forget. Thank you.
Thanks, babe.
Bye.